Feast your eyes on a living, modern marvel. One of the great wonders of the world. I would even venture to say, the greatest.
Christian Cage
Instant
is an instant classic.
Instant classic.
The Model T. Instant gone with the wind.
Instant.
The steam locomotive. Instant Bogart. I am the greatest thing since sliced bread. No. I am greater than sliced bread. I'm greater than great.
I'm great.
I am an instant
Classic. Christian Cage.
I am an instant
NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I wouldn't say master of the universe. I'd say champion of the universe. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night. It's been your privilege. Be sure to tip your waitress.
I was actually born in a place called Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Didn't stay there long, I lived there for about a year. Moved to another small town called Huntsville, Ontario. Lived there for another year or two. Then moved to an even smaller town called Grand Valley, Ontario, which had about maybe 7,000 or 8,000 people in it. And then when I was about, say around 10 or 11, is when I moved to the big city of Orangeville, Ontario, which is about 40 minutes north of Toronto. Adam Copeland and myself, we became friends when I moved from Grand Valley to Orangeville. That's where he grew up his entire life. We weren't in the same class when I moved there. They had two separate classes. I moved there in the 6th grade, and he was in the other class. I was in a different class. We're watching it, and I never heard of this guy, Terry Richards, who later became Rhino. And I was watching him, and I remember Adam was with me, and a couple other guys that we all traveled down together, and we're sitting there, we were watching, and man, he was just this big guy, and he just moved so fast and so crisp, and just was so intense. And this, I think, was his 4th match. At the time, I think this was like my 2nd or 3rd match, and it was like his 4th match or something like that, and you could tell right away that this guy had something. And I remember all of us sitting there being blown away by this guy, like, man, this guy is awesome, man, he's so good. And at the time, I was burnt out from being on the road so much, and I was tired mentally and physically. I was beat up, and plus the other things that were going on, I was starting to become a little bit bitter, and I don't like being a bitter person, and I didn't want to become bitter because I actually had a great career there, and when I look back on my time there, I want to look back on it and smile and say, man, that was a great time in my life. I didn't want to look back and say, man, I hate that place, blah blah blah. I didn't want to be that guy. And I didn't want to bring anybody down in the locker room or anything like that. So my contract was coming up, and I just said, you know what, it might be time for a fresh start somewhere else. Coming up on 2 years here that I've been in TNA, and I've had some good career memories for sure. And obviously the highlight of that would be the first time winning a world title, winning the NWA World Championship, something that I dreamt about, since I was a kid, and always felt that I would love to have the opportunity to do, and then to win it on my first chance was a great honor. Being reunited with Rhino and Team 3D and guys that I had worked with a ton in the past, those were great moments. And getting to work with future superstars. Samoa Joe, I think the guy's got unlimited talent. He's going to be a huge star. AJ Styles, the sky's the limit for that guy. I mean, I'm just so impressed with him, and as a performer and as a person. I feel really privileged to be able to work with him right now, and I feel like, in a certain way, I feel very proud because I feel like I've gotten a side out of him that maybe he didn't know that he always had, but maybe just needed a little help squeezing out of him, kind of like how I did when I was in that position a few years beforehand, that I didn't know I had it, but somebody had to kind of pull it out of me, or I had to find the right moment to bring it out of myself. Being the champ, being the real world heavyweight champ, I got to travel in style. So this is how I do it right here. With the 06 Porsche Cayman S. It's my fun little ride. Have a good time in it. Big palm trees. It's Florida. Crabgrass. It feels weird on your feet when you walk on it. That's how I do it. Oh, this is also where Abyss attacked me and beat me up, and we fought through my house, by the way. I still haven't forgotten that. Are you coming or what? Let's go.